because, in spite of his 6 feet in height and his good looks, she liked him. She had come to like all of them as they had worked together, even Paul Harris, who could be a bit coarse, very un-PC. The only one she really had a problem with was Sue Rollinson. The detective constable's loyalty to Charlie was verging on hero worship, possibly infatuation, and had been the cause of friction. Tanya shrugged. It didn't matter now. The team was almost certainly going to be broken up and reassigned. When he told her that he was applying for a relocation away from Oxfordshire, Tanya had smiled and nodded and uttered encouraging words. But what she really wanted to say had been, "Don't go, Charlie. You're the nearest thing I've had to a mate in years." She'd had no choice but to bite back the words. He was ambitious, and she recognized the drive, the greed for success. She had it in spades herself. She was driven by the need to do well, and if he believed, as he obviously did, that his progression towards one of the top jobs in the police force meant that he had to move away, then that was his right, and his choice. She was going to miss him. He'd saved her life not all that long ago, and before that, when they first met, when she was drafted in to take over his case, he'd been dignified and professional. He could have been difficult and obstructive. There weren't many people like him that you came across, and now he was going to be in Liverpool. Okay, it was only a bit more than 100 miles away, but he would be part of another force, effectively out of her life. She altered her focus a bit, saw her own reflection in the glass. She flicked her glance up and down. Her new dress had been expensive, but quality showed in the way it clung to her figure, and the new boots were gorgeous. She knew it was shallow, but new stuff cheered her up. She painted a smile on her face and pushed through into the restaurant, waving to the others as she came nearer to the table. "No sign of Sue and Paul yet?" she asked. Charlie had stood to kiss her cheek, a familiarity allowable now outside of work. "No, they're sharing a taxi and there's some sort of hold-up in town. A fire, I think," he said. "Oh, right. I heard the sirens as I was driving in. Well, we might as well get around him while we wait, eh?" As she spoke, she waved to the waitress. "I'll get these," Charlie said. "No, it's on me." She let her smile cover them all. "This is probably the last time we're together, so I reckon it's my shout." He didn't put up much of a fight, and they all knew that, a senior investigation officer on their last job, it was pretty much expected of her. They ordered drinks and chatted for a while. They didn't talk about the last case. It was done. A reasonably successful outcome, although 2 dead victims would have a place in Tanya's memory for a long time. Probably always. Tonight, though, Charlie was centre stage, telling them about the new job as a detective inspector with the Merseyside force, his impressions of the city and the rented house they'd be using until things were settled. Tanya glanced at her watch. It was almost 8:30, and they had been waiting for an hour with still no sign of the other 2. She pulled out her phone and dialed Paul's number. "Paul Harris?" The phone was answered quickly. "Hello. Any idea how long you're going to be? We're starving to death here." "Sorry, boss, it's pretty bloody messy out here, to be honest. I don't think it's a huge fire from what I can see, but there are plenty of appliances and the roads are shut all over. I had a quick word with one of the fire officers, a mate of mine. It's a small warehouse that's involved. The main worry, apparently, is it spreading to other buildings. Anyway, top and bottom of it is we'll be about 10 minutes now, according to Shamar, our driver." "I'll get your drinks in ready. What are you having?" She relayed the information to the rest of the group, bought another round of drinks, and for a while they searched the internet on their phones to see what information there was about the cause of the delay. There wasn't much. Not yet. Chapter 2. With a glass of wine half drunk, Tanya felt herself relaxing. She began to enjoy the banter and chat. Charlie was going, and she hated that, but for now she pushed it aside. It was almost midnight before they finished eating. The late start had delayed things anyway, and then they had gone the whole hog with starters, desserts, and coffee. Tanya had her phone on vibrate, and once or twice as it jiggled in her bag, she had glanced down at the screen to see her sister's emoticon leering at her. Fiona, up in Scotland with her perfect children and her perfect husband and her charity work. It wasn't that they